Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Bozzian and welcome back to another one of my videos, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about boss fights kind of being a thing in zombies from now on, and also a possible future one in DLC 2. Now, obviously, there is a zombie boss fight under Eisendrache, and it's what you get at the end of the Easter egg, and then you blow up the moon and you kill Dempsey 1.0. Spoiler alert, we've never really had anything like this in the past, and I'm really not sure what to think of it. I remember playing Bloodborne and thinking that the boss fights in that game were annoying. But really, you can always just run back and it takes a few minutes. In Eisendrache, you literally work for 2 or 3 hours just to get to the boss fight, and you're really not sure if you'll win or not. Not to mention the fact that it also lagged some people out of the game during the boss fight. That's incredibly sad. I can't even imagine going through something like that. I would probably cry. For a person like me that literally only plays zombies, it's not really a problem. I could commit 4 hours a day to playing zombies. I could try and beat the Easter egg in every single session that I play, but for an actual gamer that plays numerous games, they might want to sit down and take a crack at the Easter egg themselves, but it might be terrible going through all of that time and then in the end just dying or lagging out in the boss fight. That would be really sad. Again, basically what I want to ask you guys is, do you think that this is going to be a regular thing from now on? Would you like to see boss fights from now on? Personally, I actually don't mind it. I like the added difficulty. It's just incredibly time consuming, and I personally don't think that it's for everybody. In my opinion, I think that this is going to be a regular zombies thing from now on. We're going to be seeing a boss fight with every Easter egg that we do in every zombies map from now on. But what kind of bosses are we going to be seeing in the future maps? And I'm going to talk about Cthulhu being the one in the next map, and I have a lot of evidence to believe so. If you guys want more specific insight on why I believe this is happening in the next map, I suggest that you watch the video that's up on the screen right now. I'll have a link to it. I talk about how the coordinates from the Shadows of Evil Note led us to Pompeii, and how it's going to be Tokyo's map based on all the clues that we found out so far, and it's literally right under Japan, and it only makes sense that the map would be for Tokyo and that the other coordinates which lead us to Russia would be for Nikolai. And from all of the Lovecraftian themes being implemented into the storyline, one of which is actually Cthulhu, it would make sense that this island in the South Pacific would have some sort of an involvement with the city of Ryla, which also has a connection to Cthulhu, being the fact that Cthulhu is sleeping at the bottom of the ocean inside of that sunken city, waiting for an apocalyptic moment to rise back up out of the water. And if that doesn't scream zombies, I really don't know what else does, because what's going on right now in the zombie storyline? Pretty much an apocalypse. The story of Cthulhu was literally spawned because of this very island, and the fact that the island is right next to the area where Cthulhu sleeps, it's pretty interesting. I mean, it really makes you think that this next map is going to be involving the sunken city and quite possibly a boss fight with Cthulhu. The island is speculated to be a part of Lumeria, which sank into the ocean a long time ago. So all of these connections are just way too obvious. There's no way it's all a coincidence. So if Cthulhu was a boss in the map, what would that look like? According to the Call of Cthulhu, he would rise out of the ocean, and from that point, I assume that is where the boss fight would take place. I imagine that the boss fights in this game are going to be steadily increasing in difficulty as the DLCs progress, and Cthulhu is probably one of the scariest monsters I've ever seen. I'm not so sure if this is going to be insanely difficult, if this actually happens. I really don't know. Hopefully it's not insanely harder than the Der Eisendrache one, because the Der Eisendrache one was pretty difficult in my opinion. Cthulhu has a lot of minions, and I just kind of imagine him spawning a crap ton of Margwas to attack the players, similar to how there were smaller enemies yet to fight in the Der Eisendrache boss fight with those skeletons, and I'm really not sure if that's what they're gonna do with this next boss fight. I mean, it is Cthulhu, and I really think that would be insanely hard. Just imagine a bunch of Margwas running at you. I know a lot of you are gonna say, no, not Margwas again, but I don't know, I'm just theorizing here. I mean, Cthulhu has wings too, which probably means he's gonna be flying around everywhere, so it sounds like this boss fight might be insanely hard. But how would we actually initiate this boss fight? I'm assuming that we'd probably have to do the Easter egg, and after we do all of the collecting of the pieces and all of that regular Easter egg stuff, you would probably summon Cthulhu out of the ocean because, you know, according to the Call of Cthulhu, he rises out of the water, and that's when everything goes to hell. So I'm really not sure if we actually get to go into the water and swim around. Black Ops 3 already has swimming mechanics, so I'm not sure why they wouldn't implement this into the zombies game mode. Again, this is all speculation, and the only reason that I believe that this could happen is because they introduced a boss fight in their Eisendrache, and I think that they're going to be doing more in the future for every single Easter egg from now on. And again, this is just really heavy speculation, but from everything that we've seen so far, I think that it's a pretty solid theory, being the fact that we have all this evidence for Cthulhu and all these Lovecraftian creatures being involved in the zombie storyline, and now we're going to the island that started all of that. I don't think that that's a coincidence. Also, this is where the reporter from the Shadows of Evil Radios found the summoning key, and then he brought it back to Morgue City in the back of a truck. That's why you see it in the back of a truck, and later on he got stabbed in the chest, which, you know, his day probably sucked. But if a Cthulhu boss fight does actually happen, how are they going to top that in DLC 3 and DLC 4? Fighting Cthulhu just sounds absolutely... It just sounds like the most epic thing ever, and I just can't see them topping it at all. The only thing that I really want to see happen, if this actually happens, if Cthulhu is a boss in the future, I really want Takio to say this. But that's gonna be it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a rating, please subscribe, and have a wonderful day. And let me know down in the comment section below what you think about boss fights being a kind of a staple in the zombies game mode. Again, let me know down in the comment section below if you think this is a good idea or not. And that's gonna be it. See you later.